So a few weeks ago, I declared this New York Giants season to be one of the worst in franchise history. Now, I'm not really sure anymore, and I don't think it is. Coming up next. So I think it's worth apologizing to Tommy DeVito once again, because Tommy DeVito again shocked the world, and he did it on the national stage on Monday night, something that the quarterback that's getting paid $40 million for the New York Giants to do hasn't been able to do. He never wins in those primetime moments. And Tommy DeVito did it in his first game. His first game. And a few weeks ago, many people were asking for the Giants to be taken off primetime, same as the Jets, but also the Giants. The Giants said we're pathetic. And now, the New York Giants, I understand in a crummy NFC conference, but the New York Giants at 5-8 find themselves in the playoff picture. And if you don't think that's the case, you're just not paying attention. This NFC conference at a 6th and 7th spot, with the extra playoff spot being added now, it adds so many possibilities. And Tommy DeVito and the New York Giants have now won 3 straight games. The Commanders, fun win. Whatever. Giants always beat the Commanders, whatever. Patriots, they got the win, but by the grip of their teeth. And this game versus a good, hot Packers team at the time. Now, I'm not sure they're good anymore with their under 500 record, but a hot Packers team that has won 3 straight. Jordan Love, who's been performing very well, and Matt LaFleur, who is undefeated in December. The New York Giants won. And they survived a horrendous Saquon Barkley fumble. Oh my God, Saquon Barkley wants $20 million a year and has had some fluky fumbles this year. Some guy who never fumbles the football. I mean, it just can't happen. I understand it's a fluke play. Can't happen what happened there. But the Giants were able to survive. They got the 2-point conversion stop after the touchdown because Green Bay had great field position. And Tommy DeVito said, we're going to win this game. And that big pass to Wendell Robinson at first taking yards whenever he could, had 2 timeouts. He knew that. Looked patient, calm. And that throw to Robinson for that huge gain to get into field goal range. Money. Just money. Money. And as a New York Giants fan, I can now have some interest in the rest of the season. Because, let's face it, playing on Christmas Day versus the Eagles a few weeks ago, I was like, I don't need the New York Giants to ruin my Christmas. I know they're not winning that game. And you know what? They're going to be underdogs, no matter what. Even if they win versus the Saints next week. And I don't want to skip too far ahead. My whole point is, Tommy DeVito has not gone against an elite team. And when he actually has the Dallas Cowboys, and he's fell flat on his face. Now, I believe he's gotten better week by week. And on a big stage on a Monday night versus a Packers team like that wants to win, is hot. And they played so bad. And DeVito did just enough. And he did enough to win the game to not even have that last drive even happen. He did absolutely enough to where if Saquon Barkley just holds on to the football, game over. But of course, Saquon doesn't. Even though we get it, Saquon Barkley is a huge reason why the team is 5-8. I'm not here to crap on him so much. It just can't happen. And he knows that. And he knows Tommy DeVito bailed him out. He knows. And to see Dable and Tommy DeVito hug each other after that, I don't see him hugging Daniel Jones like that. I don't remember. Maybe it's just, recent recency bias. Who knows? All I know is that because the NFC is so mediocre, and 6th and 7th, we could possibly be seeing as 2 under 500 teams, and that's 6th and 7th spot. The Giants can win out, and I believe I heard this they would have a 90-something% chance of making the playoffs because then they would be 9-8. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. But even at an 8-9 record, they still have like a 40% chance, which is not bad. And that's because of all the teams that are just as mediocre as them. But this is why I didn't like the idea of tanking. Because now look where the team is at. Yes, they'll probably get, even if they do get into the playoffs, which is still unlikely, even if they do get into the playoffs, they're probably going to get waxed. We get it. But look what winning can do for a culture. You have trust in the coach again with Dable. I mean, many people didn't have that with Dable weeks ago when the Giants were 2-8 and were awful and looked like they could possibly be the worst team in the NFL, probably get that number 1 pick. Look what winning can do for a culture, for the morale of a team. Now, these guys want to play for this dude. These guys are giving all-out effort every day. The Giants had a tough-ass schedule. And I know we keep bringing that up as a possible excuse. It's just the reality, though. They forgot how to win games. And it's great to see them finding ways to win games. And to see that arc of getting better each and every day is fun to see. Tanking is something that, in theory, sounds okay. But in execution, not so great. So seeing the New York Giants come out and beat a Packers team with an undrafted quarterback as he gets better, the team gets better around him, they start to get healthier, starting beating opponents that are on their level or just a little bit better, like the Packers. It's nice to see. And when you're winning, you feel good. And it's just that simple. If the Giants had lost every single game, you got to look at Dable, Wink, this whole thing, especially when the team was supposed to make the playoffs this year. You going to bring them back? Because then the players don't trust them anymore. And there's a lot of assuming in that. And I'm glad that's not the case. And Tommy DeVito, I don't think you can rule him out as possibly being a starting quarterback. Do I think he's there yet? I need to see more. It's really that simple. I need to see way more than that. I think it's unfair to put that on the kid. But what I will say is it's an unbelievably great story, and I am not taking anything out of his future at this point. Not many quarterbacks that have been undrafted have done what Tommy DeVito has done. And you know what? They can go to New Orleans and they could beat the Saints. They can. The Eagles have looked a little lately. As of late, they've looked a little So who knows? I know the Eagles have had the Giants number forever at this point. And I know it's Christmas Day. We'll have to see. I think if the Giants are really serious about making the playoffs, you have to win the Saints game. You have to win the Rams game. And you have to split with the Eagles, whether it's Christmas Day and I don't know, you just try to figure out how to win on Christmas Day, or in the last game, probably where the Eagles are probably going to rest guys. You have to find a way to get 3 out of these next 4. Easier said than done. We can't just pencil in the Rams and pencil in the Saints. They got to get those. But if you're the New York Giants, you got to put yourself in a position where, okay, Eagles twice in a row, one of these 2 we got to get. And it just goes back to what I've said about the tanking thing. I, as a New York Giants fan, am so happy that I am watching quality football now. That I am watching football that at least matters. I don't really want to have the discussion about Daniel Jones and Tommy DeVito yet, because you know what? It's not going to happen for a long, long time. Although if Tommy DeVito takes this team to the playoffs, how could you not consider it? Especially at the price. Do I think the New York Giants make the playoffs? No, I don't. But do I think they have a chance? Absolutely. They have a shot. because they can control their fate. They don't need, if they win out for the rest of the year, I don't think they're going to need help. But if they win 3 of the next 4, that also is still solid chance. I seriously think that 6th, 7th, both of them could be 8 and 9. Why can't the Giants do that? Things are getting exciting at the Meadowlands for the New York Giants. And Tommy DeVito, I just got to apologize again, man. I mean, I wasn't really familiar with your game as close as that Shaq meme. Because early on, it was rough. Raiders, Cowboys, Jets, looked rough. But now he's gotten comfortable with the team. He's got a swagger to him. And clearly this team loves it. And they're playing hard for him. And I don't know what's going to be the case with their quarterback situation. I don't know if the Giants draft a quarterback now. Maybe they do. Or maybe Tommy DeVito is going to continue ascending. Because I tell you what, man, he looks good. At first, it looked like, and it looks like he's getting better. A lot of these sacks that he was getting when he was getting sacked, a lot of it was his own fault, holding on to the football too long, but still obviously doing some good things. I mean, that Packers game, man, him having the awareness and getting away and moving and using his legs was great. He's not turning the football over. And you know what? He throws an absolute dart for that for the last New York Giants touchdown. That dart. I cannot remember the last time I saw Daniel Jones do that. Now, I'm sure he's done it. He's been here for a while. But I can't remember the last time I saw on the run like that. Just throw an absolute on-the-money throw. And the New York Giants have momentum going into the Saints, momentum going into the Eagles, momentum going into the Rams. They have momentum in these games. I mean, maybe the Rams too much yet, because if they lose the next 2 games, it's done. But they have momentum going on the road into the Saints, a place that the New York Giants typically struggle to win at. But Drew Brees isn't there, so we're going to have to see. Very interesting time. Because the faith is still there, but you still need to see a little bit more.